It is wrong to gift judges houses and cars, Falana tells Wike. Hello viewers and welcome to InfoGist TV. The senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN and human rights lawyer, Mr. Femi Falana, has criticized the gifting of houses to judges by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Recall that in September, the minister flagged off the construction of 40 houses for judges in the Katakwe district in the nation's capital, Abuja, sparking public outrage. Wike stated that upon completion, 20 of the houses would be allocated to judges of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, 10 to judges of the Federal High Court, and the remaining 10 to judges of the Court of Appeal. Speaking on Channels Television Politics Today, on Wednesday, Falana argued that it is inappropriate for the executive branch to give gifts to members of the judiciary, particularly judges. He said the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory operates like a state governor by virtue of Section 299 of the Constitution. So he cannot say, I am going to build 40 houses, 10 shall go to the Federal High Court, 10 shall go to judges in the Federal Capital Territory High Court, and 10 shall go to the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court. No, because federal government, like a state governor, your budget is limited to the affairs of the Federal Capital Territory. So you cannot, as the head of the Federal Capital Territory, be dishing out gifts of cars, houses to judges in the Federal High Court, in the Appeal Court and the Supreme Court. Number two, you have cases before these courts. On the theory of equality before the court, you cannot be seen to be giving cars or houses to the judges who are going to determine your cases. Falana emphasized that judges' housing should be managed by the National Judicial Council, adding that any assistance from the executive to the judiciary should be routed through the National Assembly. If the executive wants to assist the judiciary, the appropriate approach is to go to the National Assembly. You can have a supplementary budget, he said. If it has been discovered that the judiciary needs housing in Abuja, then the National Assembly should make the necessary appropriations. But the Constitution does not anticipate that the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, like a governor of Kogi, Ondo, or Cross River State, would offer cars and houses to the judges in the federal public sector. No. That is why this matter needs to be properly scrutinized and resolved in line with the provisions of the Constitution. Judges need houses, of course. Judges need cars, of course. They need security, of course, but these should be provided by the NJC within its budget. Meanwhile, Wike denied on Wednesday that the housing project for judges in Abuja is intended to secure political influence over them. He clarified that the initiative is not his own but part of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's welfare plan to support judicial independence. He explained that Tinubu said where are the judges living? They have no homes and therefore open to political manipulations. And as for me, as a president who wants to guarantee the independence of the judiciary, judges must have their homes. I am not Mr. President. I am only lucky to be appointed as a minister under this administration and who is in the position to implement his policies. And Mr. President said, look, this is what he wants. Come up and see what we can do. It was approved by Mr. President, sent to the National Assembly in the 2024 budget that there should be construction of judges and justices' quarters, that they should move judges from where they are renting houses, living among criminals. A policy anybody should commend, Mr. President. It is in the budget of the 2024 appropriated by the National Assembly, assented to by Mr. President, which is a law. What is the problem? I am only the implementer. Go and implement this. Federal Executive Council approved the contract and everything. It is not my policy. How will you now want to kill me that I am implementing what the federal government approved? Meanwhile, you recall that Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, says that he revoked the title of an abandoned land allocated to Julius Berger, Nigerian PLC, to construct quarters for judges in Abuja. Wike spoke in Abuja on Monday at the official flag-off ceremony of the design and construction of judges' quarters. In September, the Federal Executive Council approved the construction of 40 houses in Abuja for judges in the country. Wike had told journalists that the judges' quarters would be sited in the Kantape district of Abuja, noting that 20 units would be allocated to judges of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, 10 to those of the Federal High Court and 10 to the judges of the Court of Appeal. The Federal Capital Territory Minister said the project is expected to be completed in 15 months. Wike said he was driving around the Federal Capital Territory to find suitable land space for judges and for the judges' housing project, and cited the plot allocated to the construction company about 20 years ago, which was yet to be developed. When we were looking for land to build, I was driving around looking for empty land, and I got here. I saw this big land, and I saw the big post, Julius Berger, he said. I did not talk. I called the director of lands and asked, who owns the land? He said, Julius Berger. When was it allocated? He said, about 15 to 20 years ago. 15, 20 years ago, nothing has been done. I didn't bother. So I invited the MD, Julius Berger, to come. He came and we had dinner. I didn't talk about the land. The next day, he was in the office and he saw the revocation letter as a matter of public interest. He called me and said, but I had dinner with you. I said, yes, we had dinner, but we didn't discuss the land. The point is that how will the government allocate land for more than 20 years for organizations to develop? And they did not develop it. Thank God they did not develop it, and now we have it.